The United States provides military support to the Syrian Democratic Forces fighting terrorist groups in Syria. The Syrian government, backed by Russia, is waging a war against those forces in an effort to regain the territory the opposition forces still control. The United States says it is not involved in that fight.
We will use force if our troops are threatened, and that was clearly the case.
The U.S. Department of Defense said Thursday that the U.S.-led coalition and local forces fighting terrorists were attacked by Syrian pro-government forces with artillery, tanks, and rocket launch systems. A Pentagon spokesperson said the coalition's air and artillery strikes were in response to that aggression. Russia has reacted angrily to the airstrikes in which dozens were reported killed.
They claim all the time they fight international terrorism, but we see that it goes beyond that. And to confront those who really fight on the international terrorism on the ground, on the Syrian side, is criminal.
But the chief Pentagon spokesperson said that Russia had assured the coalition officials that its forces, along with Syrian forces, would not engage the coalition forces.
We are not looking for a conflict with the regime. Any action that takes away from our ongoing operations to defeat ISIS is a distraction.
The coalition airstrikes against pro-government forces in Syria added to the flare-up of violence between various parties in the country. The government's relentless shelling of the opposition-held region in eastern Ghouta, near the capital Damascus, has killed an estimated 200 civilians this week. Regarding its involvement in Syria, the United States also has disagreements with NATO ally Turkey, which has objected to the U.S. support of Kurds and other groups fighting Islamic State in Syria. Turkey is now waging a war against victorious Kurdish militias in northern Syria and wants the U.S. forces to pull out of there. A U.S. commander visiting the Manbij area Wednesday said there are no plans to leave.
I can't speak to Turkey's intentions. What I do know is that our presence here has enabled this area to be stable. And so our senior leadership, Secretary Tillersman, has laid out our end states for Syria most recently. And so we need to stay here until that political environment is stable.
International peace talks for Syria have failed to de-escalate the violence, which has sent millions of people fleeing across the borders. Zlatica, Hoke, VOA News, Washington.